Of the 10 regions in Cameroon, the South ranks 4th in landmass and 8th in population density. Ebolowa, the city capital, is the smallest of all regional capitals. Though threatened by the timber industry, the South still remains home to some of Cameroon's last remaining forests. These forests are still inhabited by some of Cameroon's oldest populations, and they provide for a region that is rich in cash crops and bushmeat. Yet the South still remains to have one of the lowest rates of food security of all regions in Cameroon, only ranking higher than the North and extreme North. Integrated farming is almost non-existent, and for those who are practicing agriculture, most are practicing only subsistence farming without much success. It's a region caught between preserving culture and economic development, traditions and modernization. And the demonstration of this can be observed along the pathways from bush to city. In coming to the South, in the city, one might learn of the region's deep-rooted culture by asking. Outside the city, one will see it. But in time past, as you go from visitor to inhabitant, you feel it also. Just outside the center of Ebolowa is the village Oding. Tucked back about 800 meters off the main road, you'll find about 30,000 square meters of farmland, sustaining 3 livestock operations currently, producing regularly over 20 of the local staple crops, and experimentally cultivating a combination of other local and foreign varieties. In the current year 2018, over 30 new varieties were planted in the soil there for the first time. Yeah. Ashu Tambe is the farm director of the center and also my counterpart.
Thank you very much. My name is Ashu Tambe. I'll be the manager for this small organization who get ahead, they call and say CAS. CAS is a Center for Assistance to Sustainable Development. So it make development long. No be thing we go get for finish tomorrow. So that's why we put as a sustainable development. I say make it long. Make it help plenty people them. And as today, so we there about 8 workers who would work for here. We work in mutual understanding. Then we make and say meeting the worker. Any man gets until way if he help himself tomorrow for live well. Because as thing the drug now for country now, you get for do work before you get small money. So with this cash, would they help for see how we make farmer them, make they produce more. So that if we get plenty money, and would it look inside to look at plenty now, would one work with women them, with young men them. Because one make woman, they get power. So that if we do their thing them. If we go buy thing for market, if we go send picking them for school, if we buy petrol or for buy truck for house, for do something them. So a big say this would have for push and say make people they try to be a bit independent. Because master then this time they kata too much now. They like for the Hamburg woman their head. So if woman figure something for your pocket, young man figure something for your pocket, they don't go the Hamburg the master them plenty. So that the main objective, that the main reason we would have make this cash make it be. And with the glad plenty say Peace Corps that come and can put power, put with power. Now with the work at the go front now fought with Trump because Peace Corps really help we. Even if the Peace Corps go, we know say we go stand. And at the thing that way, if I say, any mind the work with Peace Corps, make you try for handle the work out fine. So even if Peace Corps leave your hand, make your hand and your foot down trouble if you run the worker. So that the need way if I say when one work with Peace Corps, they will not collaborate. And Peace Corps people then do that. So when I come to give better help, help these people they make they stand. Because with this we not too strong. We strong but we not too strong. But together we work. Okay, my name is Ashu Tambe. I am from the northwest region of Cameroon, and I've been in the south for about 20 years. and I've been working with the population, the rural and semi-urban areas of the South Province, that's Ebolowa precisely, and Gulumakong. So we do agriculture. We have an integrated farming system, on-site training site, where we bring farmers, we train them according to their needs, because it varies. We get what training they want, then we impact the training onto them, then we follow up, monitor them with the help of Peace Corps to see that they attain their objectives. Yeah, I started with the Institute of Agricultural Research in Cameroon. Then after that, I moved out of the Institute of Agricultural Research, Iraq, for development. I picked up a job with an NGO that is called FONJAC, Fondation Fish Jacob, an NGO based in Switzerland. So we worked on the promotion of good agricultural practices in the South region. Then after that, I moved in now to do with CAS. CAS is Center for Assistance to Sustainable Development. Our objective is just almost the same as the one of FONJAC, to promote sustainable agriculture and to make people have more money in their pocket. And promoting agriculture means you must have good quality seeds. So we've gone into specializing more in seed production. So we do a lot of seed production, and we do a lot of improved seed production. Notwithstanding, we don't want to erode all the genetical presence of local material. So we still maintain our local varieties. So we keep the seeds too, because you don't have to work only on improve, but you have to keep the local material, because in case of any accident, you can fall back on the local material, and so that is one of our objectives. Okay, you're welcome to
In February 2017, the farm site was secured as an agricultural training center with the help of USAID through Peace Corps Cameroon. Since that time, the center has been evolving as an on-farm demonstration, training, and resource distribution site, promoting the acquisition of integrated agricultural practices within and outside of the Oding community.
We found it very difficult to work with the population, because they weren't, they weren't really trying to work with us closely, because they were working mostly on cocoa and other cash crop or fruit trees. So when we started, we came up with this idea of making an integrated on-farm training site in order to attract farmers, in order to train them on sustainable agriculture. That is how we came up with this. With the help of USAID, Peace Corps, we developed this integrated agriculture training site, where we do crop production, we do animal husbandry. And here we have, in the animal husbandry, we have pigs, we have chickens, and presently with Amy brought in a rabbit. Yeah. So that is how the integrated agriculture training site is based on, where the waste of one product becomes useful for another product. So we try to manage it to see how we can sustain the environment into work, to have a durable or sustainable agriculture on the same spot for a longer period. Yeah, when I was in school, I started loving agriculture when I was in primary school, because back in the West Cameroon, or in the Northwest, we did royal science. And royal science, in our primary school days, we used to have gardens in our schools. In our secondary school days, we used to have gardens in our school. We used to produce tomatoes, pineapple, sugarcane, plantains, for us to then they cook in the dormitory for us to eat. So I got interested in agriculture. That's how I had to follow the path of producing plants.
In 2018, CASD was able to support the formation of a youth agricultural program at one of Ebolowa's bilingual schools with support from Feed the Future funding. With assistance also from West Africa Food Security Partnership, livestock operations were expanded this year to include rabbit production. CAST has also been working to promote food security in the South region through increasing accessibility to nutrient-rich foods such as orange flesh sweet potatoes and mushrooms. For this, CAST has developed a two-part approach. Increasing on-farm production to develop a stock for distribution to other farmers, and providing community trainings to teach on cultivation techniques and nutrition. For the long-term success of any newly introduced production system at CAST, integration into the larger farming system is truly necessary.
Yeah, the South region is in the tropical zone, and we have they call it the equatorial rainforest, or we call it evergreen forest. So we have big forests here, and you have many species of forest. So you have companies that are coming in to log and things like that. And agriculture here is very difficult to practice because of its the environment, the trees. To cut down a virgin forest, locking down the trees and things like that, it's very difficult. And secondly, when once the trees, the vegetation or the canopy has been cut down, the heavy rains, when they fall on the soil, they do a lot of leaching and erosion. So we have soil fertility problem here because the humid soil is very thin in the tropical zone. The very hot sun and the rain depletes the soil fertility very, very fast. So at times people see the land, a lot of land, they think it's not easy to work and maintain that soil fertility. So that's why we're coming in now with how to improve the soil fertility in this area by bringing some agricultural practices like doing agroforestry and doing integrated agriculture and doing crop rotation. And that's what we are doing in this farm. We've been on this field here for the past more than 10 years, and we are working 2 times a year on the same plot because we do practice crop rotation, we do practice agroforestry, we do practice integrating, putting in organic manure in the soil. And that's why we are on this soil for this long. Yeah, we started with more on crop production and seed multiplication. But when the Peace Corps came, they came in with this phase of integrated agriculture, and that's how we had some funds from how they call it, food security. Yeah, that we had to put up building of. We started poultry and piggery production. So we started integrated agriculture. Yeah, presently CAS is working on 3 hectares of land, and the crops that we are producing presently are maize. You have maize from local maize like CMS Cameroon maize selection 8704. Then you have Amy brought some maize from the United States, sweet corn, and you have the black maize and some other maize that. So we are trying it, and it has been. We did it last time, and the sweet corn is really doing well here. Then the Peace Corps, we are working on orange flesh potatoes. The Peace Corps, they brought in some 6 varieties from Kenya, and CAS brought one from Burkina Faso. And we've tested it, and it's really doing well in the south. So we have potatoes multiplication field, seed multiplication field. We have maize seed multiplication field, and we also have cassava. We have 3 varieties of improved cassava from IT and IRAD that we are promoting. So we're doing seed multiplication of cassava cuttings in CAS. So we all work with African vegetables like amaranth and nightshade, jute mallow, okra, and eggplant. So we do all this here. We promote this production here in this area, and we have it here on our field. So we show them how to produce, then we teach them how to produce the seeds. So we have also banana that we got from IITA. We have pawpaw that we plant here. And those are the crops that we grow mainly. Okay, this is what I brought, Caromex.
Okay, wow. Man.
It's wonderful, Amy. You get to like it.
My name is Mr. Joseph. Come from the Northwest, Oding subdivision. So I'm here. I have 3 kids. Yes, are all going to school. Because of the farm that I'm doing, I pay my school fees for my children. Voila. So I'm so happy for that. With the grace of Amy is here also us, is pushing us. So we are happy with Amy. I don't think we will even go back again. When Amy came, so I see the way that Amy is with us. So I took Amy like my sister. So I brought in our village meeting here in Ebolowa. So I reached her. So my community was so happy. So anytime we go to the meeting, we have the meeting twice a month. So at times we have big meeting that we play big jangi and all rest. We eat food, dance together. Everybody's happy. As I introduced in the meeting, everything is now popular in Ebolowa in our community. So when someone find Amy somewhere, you have to say, ask what are you looking for? So they try to direct Amy. This. Why? This is the store you can buy here. Or this is this. When you have small difficulties in farm, I always direct you if Elderman is not around. So I always tell you, this is it and this is it. This is how we plan, or this is how, just like that. All the road that place is more bush or not cassava now.
But if block, I not even clear play where you come from.
Every time. It answers as a road, do the same road. This is how we get it there. You see, on furlong, and the this is furlong. Furlong, we go to the market, one furlong. Put the palm oil. They take a salt like this. You see, no?
The salt.
The salt. This is salt. You know salt? Voila.
The cell.
Voila, the cell. In French, we call it English salt. You put the salt inside like that. Voila. Okay. Then you put you see the onion?
Onion.
You fry the onion.
Wow.
Yes. Fry the onion first. Okay. 5 minutes. It's not get burned, eh? Then you put the tomato. Have you the tomato?
Yeah.
Voila. 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 Obviously very nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Very good. Come back 5 minutes.
Okay.
So the scent, the others will remain inside.
Okay.
The others will not come out. My main job in the farm, keeping the animals. And I also grow corn, macabo, plantain, and I also stay here. I've been doing agriculture around 4 years here. Yes. Because I came here, I was doing business. That's the problem. Yes. After that, I saw that the business was moving well. I divorced to agriculture. Yes. So I also do the agriculture. At times I do my business. Yes. I was supposed to be a businessman, but I'm happy to do agriculture. After I left Northwest, I landed to McCormack in the south. Yeah, in the south, when they don't clear their farm, they don't put ridges. They just plant like that. They don't till and plant. So, but we in the Northwest, we put ridges to make the crops to grow very well. But yet they don't do it like that. That's why they did not succeed on their farming. In the Northwest, no, we are so hard in working. Yes, the Northwest are so hard. They know themselves. They are so hard working. Even the South is the Northwest is working at their farm. Yeah, those people here that behave those as I don't know. You know, yeah, they don't move out. Most of them live in the South, so they don't know even Cameroon. So that's why they behave as, I don't know what I can say. At times when I can say somebody who is a big man or rich man like that, look for somebody to work on her farm. So the way he might treat the man, the person, people are so sad because when you have money, somebody work from you, you don't want to pay, it's not good. And you know the energy that people use to work on the farm is so hard. It's not easy to work on the farm. So when somebody come and help and then you harvest it, then you don't want to pay her, it's not good. That's the problem that we're facing here.
Mais le temps va passer, non? Let's do what we've just done here. That way.
L'eau bien chaude.
When people come to visit, so some came to learn how we do, and they will teach them how to plant, how to carry their seed to their various farms, so they should be able to plant as we are doing on the field here. So now they are succeed on their own farm. So now they are also pass and every day that asking for seed, we should give them seeds and so that the farming is improving.
Tu n'as pas beaucoup d'huile pour frire, de ceux qui vont prendre le coco là. Parce que tu as beaucoup de l'huile là, ça frire rapidement.
Oh, okay.
Donc voilà le choix.
Cela y a du feu, pas encore du feu.
Donc quand ça va là, on va vous donner, vous êtes même de la maison. Et dès que tu prépares ça, ça devient vert.
Oui.
Ah bon?
Non.
Et ça a un bon goût, ça sent pas.
Ça n'a pas l'odeur.
Ça n'a pas l'odeur.
Ouais, je mange aux enfants, ce que tu veux. Hein. Non, c'est que la mienne. Ce que tu veux. Moi, je mange. Oui, non, si tu veux, moi.
Donc fais ton travail comme tu veux là, ça va, ça te filme.
Non, il n'y a pas de souci.
Now you see.
Pourquoi ça donne ça?
Ah, qui te donne mal là. No, this one.
Oh, I think really something new, and I hope that all the women who participate in this will actually take it serious and
Yeah.
actually take it as a business,
Yeah,
keep making.
yeah.
So we had all the advantages of what those orange potatoes, nutritional value, and I think I'm encouraging the population
Yeah.
to eat, to consume a lot of it. The new variety of potatoes that only has the center has for now. So we wish that with time we will train more farmers and more of them will be interested also.
Ah oui, 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 oui. Donc ça ne tout beau que c'est là où ça ne s'occupe pas bien là. Ok. Il va chercher maintenant.
Nous, on va aller chercher comment ça veut dire que nous pas
Voilà. Chercher même devant là.
devant là. Nous, on veut seulement voir comment tu cherches. Soyez attentifs. Soyez attentifs.
Il va casser, on va prendre, Amy, tu peux passer devant pour bien voir.
Wow.
Tu vois comment ça commence à aller. Voilà. Voilà.
Goodness.
Water here.
Yes. Wow.
Ah bon, je vois si moi-même je peux faire ça s'arrête.
Est-ce que c'est tout?
Okay, let me start over here.
Bon, c'est que ça se croise.
Pistachio. You want to try too?
C'est vrai, hein?
What?
Ça claque.
Hi.
Mais mon
That
enfant,
is
il a un
distance
problème
of
parce qu'il
water.
aime le CHU.
Hein?
C'est pas magie.
C'est lui qui a cherché
No,
celle-là. Hein?
nah, natural thing of Africa. Nah, the magic
C'est
no
le
there.
science.
Yeah, science, natural science.
Ça teste
Ok.
les mêmes résultats.
Et tu fais comment avec le morceau? Tu mets 2 morceaux de
Deux
cuivre
morceaux
comme
de
ça.
cuivre comme ça.
Jusqu'à ce que ça se colle.
Oui, ça se colle.
Là où ça se colle,
Ça montre que l'eau est, la nappe d'eau est
plus superficielle.
est plus superficielle.
Oui, ça veut dire que là, si tu creuses,
Tu vas
tu,
vite
ne-
trouver
tu vas vite trouver
Tu vas
l'eau. Tu
trouver.
n'as pas besoin de trop
Oui,
creuser pour
oui.
trouver l'eau.
parce que l'eau marche comme ça.
Oui, je sais. L'eau marche comme ça dans les profondeurs de la terre.
Yes.
Mais moi,
You got the explanation?
Yeah, I got it.
Water is working like this
Yeah.
inside the
Ça
ground.
se croise.
So
Yeah.
wedge.
Yes.
C'est le force
Bon,
pas.
tu arrêtes comme
Ok.
ça là. Tu marches.
À l'aise, ta main très légère.
Oui,
Laisse ta main légère.
tu marches. Bon, moi, je comprends.
Ma copine, tu doutes.
Tu n'as pas.
Laisse la
Tu
main.
avais le cuivre que moi, je veux voir avec le bâton.
Avec le,
Non,
avec
mais
le.
c'est ça qu'il a cherché l'eau là. Hein.
Il y a le-
Il a trouvé encore. Il a trouvé encore.
une autre
Ah,
nappe.
regarde Vanessa, très facile à
Il a-
prendre
il a
parce
trouvé
qu'il
un
prend
corps
le
quelque
matériel
part, là.
devant toi, dans
Tu vois,
ton
non?
champ. Il prend ça chez toi. Il
Je ne
travaille
vais
avec
pas
toi.
refuser. Le problème,
Donc,
c'est
il a encore, première fois ce qu'il avait fait, on devait creuser ça là-bas, non? Tu avais trouvé là, il dit que non, il faut que il cherche l'eau côté ici. Non, il n'y avait pas la maison. C'est dit que non, il faut que ça doit être le côté ci, il a cherché le côté ci. Donc, il y a encore quelque part là.
Oh yo! Maman, vous allez nous tuer.
Mais c'est ça, non?
C'est vrai. Moi, mais me disais qu'on creuse les puits là au hasard.
Au hasard, on ne
Non,
creuse
moi, je
pas.
croyais que c'était une machine.
You want to explain what you have here and what you just did?
What you yes, thank you to welcome to Cas Oding.
You can talk in French.
My name is
Yeah, you can speak in French. You can speak in French because they're learning, so they need to learn
ok,
French.
bon.
Yeah.
Bienvenue
Tu
à
comprends,
Oding,
là?
à la Cas d'Oding. Nous sommes ici au centre d'assistance pour le développement d'Oding. Bon, merci pour l'invitation et merci pour votre présence. Vous avez pris la peine pour venir ici nous assister dans notre structure. Donc nous vous disons merci pour cette rencontre. Bon, en ce qui me concerne en particulier, je m'appelle Ali Bobo. Moi, mes parents sont du nord et de l'ouest. Bon, je suis ici à Ebolowa depuis environ 10 ans. Je suis ici à la casse comme volontaire et je suis venu rencontrer M. Ajou, qui est d'abord mon manager et qui est aussi un grand frère pour moi, un père pour moi. J'ai aussi rencontré Sista Amy, qui est membre du PISCO, que nous sommes ici beaucoup en harmonie, en famille. Et nous sommes très fiers d'être avec PISCO. Nous nous débrouillons et nous apportons les nouvelles idées pour développer les petites idées que nous avons. Et nous leur disons merci, merci, merci indéfiniment. C'est pour toute la vie. Et nous sommes très très contents d'être ici à Oding, à la casse, avec cette famille-là. Donc nous sommes très très fiers d'être dans l'agriculture intègre. Donc nous sommes très très contents, motivés par le PISCO, que nous disons beaucoup merci. Donc nous tirons un grand coup de chapeau pour tout ce qu'il nous apporte, et pour tout ce qu'il nous apporte, et tout ce que nous apprennent. Donc nous sommes très contents. Merci beaucoup.
Merci aussi.
Ouais,
Merci.
voilà.
Ok, tu peux expliquer un peu de les choses ici. Tu as quelles choses?
Et ici nous avons
Ça c'est quoi?
la marane,
Oui.
que nous appelons communément folon. Bon, là c'est une variété qui vient des États-Unis. Bon, là c'est notre première année de produit. Ça c'est les fleurs de ça. Mais ça produit aussi les feuilles vertes. Oui, ça produit les fleurs jaunes comme vous voyez. Et ici c'est toujours la marane. Bon, qui produit aussi les feuilles vertes mais les fleurs jaunes On peut consommer aussi les fleurs. Nous pouvons les laver, les hacher et les faire comme le riz sauté. Et les manger comme ça avec les tubercules de notre choix. Comme vous le voyez, ça les feuilles vertes, les fleurs sont jaunes. Et l'autre ici, même chose. Bon, tout ça, on les consomme de la même manière. C'est très nourrissant. Ouais.
Okay, this is our record board. This board helps us to keep track on what is happening on the field and to follow up and see if we are on the right track. Okay, here we have the field map. This was introduced by Amy when she came. We had difficulties in managing our farm records and activities. Since we are working on integrated agriculture, we know how we must keep record with this board to know how where we have applied organic fertilizer, inorganic fertilizer, and to do crop rotation in order to enhance soil fertility. So we use this map to point out the activities that we have been doing. And since we are working with farmers, at times some of them are illiterate. They don't know how to keep record. We've made tags that when, for example, here you see planting represents S, transplanting represents T, and NPK is 20-10-10. Here you have urea, which is, these are organic fertilizer. So if you apply organic fertilizer, you remove this one and put here. Like here on this map, you see here you have applied NPK. Then here, if you use urea, you put urea. Then here you have organic fertilizer, because we do integrated agriculture here on our farm. If we use the rabbit dung or rabbit waste excrement, we take and we put it on where we've used and on what crop we've used the rabbit excrement. If we use fowl dropping, we put fowl dropping. If it is pig dung waste, we use the pig waste. So that is you have the tax here. Yeah, for pesticide, if we use any pesticide, we remove the tag here and we stick it on the portion or the crops that we've used it, and H is for harvest. So here on this field, we have our field map that was delicately drawn by Amy, and she taught us how to go about doing that. So when for the planting season, or it is there, the process is there for the year. So what we do, we only change, when we change the crop, we change the map on it. So we will get the stickers from there, then we put on this board, on the map, to know which activities we've carried out. And that helps us to monitor, to follow up the different patterns of work that is going on in our field. And that helps us to do good soil management. It helps us to do crop rotation. It helps us to fight against insects, to manage and to know which activity will take place after, because here you see NPK. If it is maize, NPK, the next fertilizer will come in, will either be organic or urea. So we know exactly when to use it. So this map is very, very important for us, and it helps us to go with our activities. Then here we have our calendar, where we have the dates. These are dates. So when we want to go, we do planning on this. For example, I'm about to go out for about a week, and this is the activities that we have been assigned to the different workers, so that even if I'm not there, when they come, they will look at this, they know when to do and how to do. Some farmers who don't know how to read, but with this they can see the dates, and from here they can see the activities that they can do, that they have to do, so they can easily get it from there and record it on this activity tracking sheet, because this one is to track what we've been doing. Like now, this is our tracking sheet for the rabbitry. Here we harvested manure from the rabbit tree, and it was 40 liters harvested that day, and we applied it in Ashu and Fred's farm, which was vegetable, amaranth and eggplant. So we take track of that. On with this one for inputs and outputs, to track our expenditure and to have our input, to know whether if what we are doing is profitable or not. So this one helps us to see at the end of each activity or each production, to see the input that we have put in and the sales, and to minus input sales to know whether we are making profit or not. So this is a very good innovation. Then here we have the field map. When you plant, you have the field map. On our board we have the field map. When we want to follow up any activities, we draw the map. Like for example, this one is the field map of orange flesh potatoes. We have about 6 or 7 varieties that are here. So we have the field map, so you can track each variety during harvest to know which one is which. So it's good to have a field map for each crop that you do. So basically, that is our information board that gives us everything about the farm. If you have even a visitor just come visiting, can just look at the board and know exactly what type of activities are going presently on the field. Okay.
At the junction there.
Okay, at the end of Singlu.
Yeah, there's one new spot just beside there. I think that guy has a good palm oil.
Yeah.
I've tested it. It's really, really nice. Because you usually go and get the original from the trunk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is how we cook in the rain. The rain will not stop us cooking.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. That's where I started. You're welcome to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I start the same way, or
yeah, sure.
Okay, you're welcome to CAS. This is the Integrated Agriculture on Farm Training.